Hey everybody, this is Chad Daniels, and you have landed in the middle of somewhere. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming back. Across from me, as always, is Cyrus Amundson.
Hey, I'm here. I'm not at all thinking about the woman at Target, the elderly woman who sneezed into her hand and then loaded my goods into a bag.
Yeah, I bet you're not thinking about that. It looks like you got dressed to egg her house later.
I'm not thinking about that. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do a lot more than egg. Like this is like take it in. Like I did complain. I did complain.
I mean, there's no...
I got a manager of Target. And I was like, hey, and it wasn't even like when I had to have been. I walked up to him because he was walking by. He was on the walkie-talkie. He's like, something with the team and the. He was saying something managerial.
Yeah.
And I just go, sir, Miss Manager, sir, and then I realized I was kind of a little aggressive, and I looked the way I look, which is unappealing. And I tried to balance it out. Mm-hmm. So I like leaned in and I did the thing like, hey, I'm just going to tell you something, but I'm going to be chill about it. So I put my left arm out like I was going to touch his arm, and he literally recoiled.
Yeah, I get that.
So he recoiled, and I was like, hey, man, you got an old-ass lady on the end that's sick and sneezing into her hands and shit and then touching all of the things that I bought. You guys not have sick days here at Target? And he goes, oh, I'll look into that. I go, don't look into it. Walk over and look at it, and then send her home. Give her a fucking day off. She's old as shit and sick. Anyway.
This is my impersonation of the Target manager meeting. Hey guys, are there any podcasts you listen to? There's one we don't listen to, middle of somewhere. Those cocksuckers come in here for material. Touch me, bitch.
I don't like being here, and like I'm having a nice time. I've been here through Christmas.
Yeah.
I've been here. I'm happy to be here. But the cold is getting to me,
yep.
And all the sick people are getting to me. How are you? How's your hip? How's the weather treating that hip of yours?
I mean, I'm like one of these guys that can take his shirt off at a football game in January.
Yeah.
And people are like, this guy's crazy. And I'm just sitting there, rock hard nips, but fine.
So it doesn't, because you have one fake hip.
I have one fake hip.
You have one horrific hip.
Now, this one was... I thought I was going to have to get it cut out. This was probably a month ago. I was really nervous because it hurt every day. And you want to know what happened?
You've been complaining about that. You told me you were going to have surgery this summer.
That's true. But only because I thought I should.
Okay.
I thought I should get ahead of it.
Okay.
But
prevention instead of triage.
But this was like I was waking up. It was keeping me up in the middle of the night. Ooh. And I was walking on the treadmill, and I was watching the TV at the house. And then I'm like, for some reason, I'm like bobbing and weaving. And so I go get the level with the little bubbles, and I put it on top of the treadmill, and it's way to the left. So I have basically been walking 3 miles a day on the side of a highway in the fucking ditch where I'm just like killing my hip. And then I leveled it out and started walking again. Haven't had pain since. Here's another thing.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. I had a little bit of an illness a while ago, and I thought sugar seemed like it was like I would vomit if I had it. This never happens
during the illness.
You know I love sugar. Yeah.
Back when you were sick a few weeks ago?
When I was sick a few weeks ago, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to go have a cookie, and then I got it, and I go, yuck, this seems horrible. And I had eggs. And so I haven't had sugar since then. My hip feels great. And I know I do this all the time. Mm-hmm. I know I'm a guy that goes, I'm not going to have sugar anymore. And then 2 weeks later, I fucking house some sugar.
I thought you meant you do this thing where you keep coming to me going, I'm going to have to replace my hip. This is horrible. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, have you heard of Pilates? Because my hip's never been stronger.
I fixed it.
You keep coming up with solutions to your hip, and then eventually we wear through that solution. But right now we are in a solution.
We are in a solution, no sugar.
Okay.
And a
flat treadmill.
A flat treadmill.
Did you not look at the treadmill and go, that's not right?
You know why? Because the TV was also askew. So everything looked right. I looked down in between the space between the TV and the treadmill, and I'm like, that's level. What the hell? And here I am just... fucking Finding Nemo. I would have been walking in a 3-mile circle.
And this is in the mansion? This isn't in the lake house? This isn't up north?
This is here in the Twin Cities.
That house is not built old. So because it's not the floor. What I was getting at, if you get one of these old 100-year-old houses in
it
like
could be the floor.
St. Paul, it's the floor. But those houses are.
It might be the floor. We're built on a hill. All I know is, I've asked the servants.
Is that too much is that too much information?
I've asked the servants a
How
couple
many hills
times.
can there be?
I've said, you guys fucking go down there and level everything out.
Fix
in
the
gym.
hill, servants.
And they go, well, it gives our gloves dirty. It's like, I don't fucking care. Serve dinner with different gloves.
Would you die for Kelsey?
That's a tough one. It depends in what situation.
So, because I got into...
I'm gonna say most of the situations, I would say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also tell you, right? Like, we're driving.
Mm-hmm.
She flips the bird.
Thank you.
And now I'm on the hook.
Thank you.
That is going to be, let's say, consequences for yourself.
I've said this, so I'm in a disagree. So a fella that I know down in Cincinnati way.
Okay.
He and I were talking about this. This guy have you met somebody who is always trying to have an "I love my wife more than you love your wife" conversation?
Yeah.
You're like,
are they on their way home from cheating on their wife? They're just, you can still smell the hooker on him, and he's like, hey, just so you know, my wife is like, I have never loved anyone more.
There is a comedian that a lot of people like public fans,
Yeah.
right? And is quite well known.
Yeah.
That I worked with a really long time ago at a comedy club. I'm giving
Name.
You don't want me to give the name.
Initials.
CD. So I'm working with this comedian.
Cummins, Dan.
And we we're talking. So this is in my. I'm single. I'm free. I'm loose, and I'm throwing it around. Right. You look at me right. I'm ready to give it away. That's the time. I just got rid of my acne.
Yeah.
And if you go, God, that's a nice shirt. Well, let's get it into your bedroom.
I remember that. I remember hitting a homer off you in wiffle ball and kind of giving you a glint in my eye, and you tried to fuck me.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't, So we are talking about life and relationships and exploits. Is that the right word?
I think so.
Okay. And he says he's in a relationship at that time. He hasn't said anything about his life, but then he just goes, first sentence about himself. He goes, I think when I cheat on my girlfriend, I think it makes me love her more.
Interesting.
He goes, like, I go home and I appreciate her and I just got that out of my system. And the moment it's out of my system, like, I just focus on her. I go, the cum? Yeah. That's how that works. Have you ever heard somebody says something, you're like, I'm not even going to enter this arena, man. Mm-hmm. I don't even belong in this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an interesting one when you can justify it by going, listen, I love you more today because I fucked 2 people last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not saying like I don't belong, like I think you and I have very different, like Jenna and I, for her, I just have a nothing on the inside rule, right? She goes, you think, what is it? She goes to a holiday party and there's
tongue in the mouth though. Tongue in the mouth.
No,
That's
nothing on the bottom inside. Nothing on the bottom inside. And
what a dumb rule.
And let me see, not some stuff on the top inside. I think I need to revise this.
Here's what I think.
But let me no.
Here's what I think. I almost passed out. I almost left my breath and passed out.
Okay. It's probably the hip pain.
Probably. So no sugar. Here's what I think you're doing. I think you are giving her certain ins and outs, quite literally, and you're giving her these rules that you hope she takes to fruition, so you can fuck around.
Well, I think we all know
because there's going to be a scoreboard.
I think we all. I don't think there is. I think we all know how. So should we get real? Should we have a real conversation? First of all,
that's all I ever want to do.
Jenna is. There's no chance. But like. So, it's when somebody gets sick, right?
Yeah.
The way I got sick.
Yeah.
For the amount of years that I got sick, it changes the way and like, it's literally a stiffness disease. And it is in my hips.
Right.
And it is in my SI joints. And them are your humping bones right there.
Sure.
So, I don't know if you've been in a sexual relationship with a guy who's like, don't for a while. So, like, here's the thing. If she goes to a Christmas party and there's somebody that looks like Idris Elba and he wants to yank her hair a little bit, what am I going to divorce her? She stuck through me through the I need my own bed and bedroom because I can't be touched, leave me alone situation. So,
You and I are so similar in so many things and so different on this. You will wait for my sick dick, or you can start divvying up the furniture.
My point is...
I can hold a dildo. My hands aren't broken. Right? Sit on this while I watch my stories.
Now, here's what I will say. Because here's the thing. Obviously, I don't want... We're down... I want to get back to whether or not either of us would be willing to die for our significant other.
Okay.
But we've started down this path. I'm obviously not encouraging Jenna... I'm just saying, if Jenna comes home from a Christmas party and she's like, I kissed a guy that looked like Idris Elba... I'll be like, well, what do you want? Like, should we have sandwiches or should we do breakfast for dinner? Like, what are we doing? If we don't hurry up and put Sunday to bed, we're not going to get to watch that, we're watching that show about, it's called, like, Based on a True Story. It's with Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, again, it's so different because I'd be like, well, we have to hurry up and put Sunday to bed so he's sleeping when I swab his cheek for the 23andMe. The fucking paternity test, you slut.
Let me tell you something. She doesn't watch our podcast.
I know that.
But I really want, we're in Cy wants a second baby. Jenna has no interest. And I know you want me to have a second baby.
Of course I do.
Yeah. And so here's what I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Is it the worst thing if she goes out and gets us another baby?
Okay.
Is she sticking with me?
Here's the thing. If she has another baby with someone else, I want it to be Sunday's father because he's adorable.
So... That was very nice. So, at first I thought it was mean and you were talking about someone else, and then I realized it was just a compliment. And that says a lot about me. There's we were at a park, like a playground, and I was talking to another dad, and he was, and I'm sorry if I've told this on the podcast. I'm almost certain I have not. Words are going great. He was talking about there was a woman.
Woman! Whoa, man! Whoa, man! Saturday morning.
No, come on.
Okay. So I Married an Axe Murderer? God, it's a good movie.
So there's a woman in his neighborhood who's older, has no husband, no kids, never had any husband, never had any kids.
Right.
And he was talking about how hard that must be. Mm. And I was like, yeah, I bet it'd be hard to be old and not have a family. He goes, no, but specifically like for a woman, because that and he went down the because they're here to have kids path. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Oh. And that's one of the things where, like I've always said, my role in those conversations is never to be like, that's not how society works. I like to agree and just see what when you you're like, totally, because that's their job. And then you see what they say next.
Dot.
Yeah, you're like, I think her bedroom should be next to the kitchen. Like, that's where I like to just push him down and see what he says. But then he went into the thing that people use a lot. And that is my favorite. It is my favorite I want to fuck a bunch of people excuse when you're in a serious relationship, which is it's just nature. Animal, there's and the thing he said, he was like, the only other mammal that's monogamous is dolphins, which, by the way, it's not even close to right.
Emperor penguin, bro. Check it out.
I don't know if those are mammals, but I also know, there's a handful of monkeys.
Did you said mammals?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But also there's...
I thought you said animals.
But here's the thing. Who cares if he said mammals? Also, a lot of birds are monogamous. They're not, permanently monogamous. Birds get divorces where they're like, fuck this bitch. Mm-hmm. And then they peace out. But in between that, they don't they're not looking at other bird trim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And I just think, I do think that is a funny...
Just to be clear, I said pussy maybe 5 episodes ago and it shut him down for 3 weeks. Trim? That's pretty close.
Bird trim. I do like the people who are like, yeah, it's just, I'm going to use animal behavior for this very specific example of fucking everybody. And then I am going to go inside and watch television and use a panini maker.
Yeah. Animalistic
like-
for everything. I'm a caveman for everything except technology and conveniences. Right. Yeah.
You want to fuck a bunch of people? Cool, I get it. It sounds neat. But just be like, I just think it sounds great. You don't have to be like, this is what squirrels are doing every day. Yeah. Why are we living amidst the rules of humans when squirrels have walked the path?
I would like to bring giant antlers with me in my car, and anytime a guy says that, just fucking stab him to death with the antlers and then look at his wife and go, new king? New king of the forest? Anybody? No? Okay.
Would you die for Kelsey? And
I'm going to tell you something. This is kind of a weird web because
I brought my giant water bottle today. It takes 2 hands to use it.
Because if I die for her, it's a little bit of a wasted death because once my kids find out, they're going to kill her. So none of that's true, but yeah, I mean, listen, I guess I don't know what the situation is. I'm sure my instincts,
let me
my instincts would be to, of course, protect.
Yeah.
Right? If there's like if she's hanging onto a branch on a cliff because she needed a selfie closer to the edge and I don't have a rope or any way to get down there, I'm just going to talk her through it till the thing snaps. Well, because how am I supposed to get her?
Yeah, that's a very good point. So let me pitch you a specific situation.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is it. I'm not going to suicide myself when she's already halfway gone.
Great, and I think that's correct. I also want, so you guys are walking down the street.
Okay.
And a gunman pops out.
Okay.
And he doesn't even want money. He goes, I'm going to kill you. And he's pointing at Kelsey.
Yeah.
Do you go, no, you're going to kill me first? Do you do that?
I think I probably just instinctually step in front of her.
Yeah.
Okay. Which now we're both dead.
Yes, that's what I said. What are the? Because so this is based off, and I'm not trying to do my stand up, but this is something I'm working on. But it's just based off a real conversation that's been being had lately. Is like, would you like? And it didn't come up. Jenna wasn't like, would you? But like, we were having that thing, and I just don't understand. What are the odds, right? What are the odds that a bullet hits something inside of me that prevents it from going through both of us?
Yeah, your bones are soft because of beet juice, so that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm not showing up to heaven and looking across a crowded heaven room thinking, man, it sucks, but I did what I should do, and you're over there like, hey, you want to hang out? Dude, no way.
Yeah, yeah. I would have to tell the gunman specifically to shoot me in my thick skull to make sure that it didn't get through to her.
The fact that I'm so proud of you that your self-hatred and body image isn't like, what's she gonna? She's gonna get through 6 feet wide of fat.
Nope.
Like, I love that. This is the one case where you don't think your fat ass body is going to.
Well, I've seen what bullets can do. I think it can tear through that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. So, I think in that situation, I obviously step in front. But, again, it's like, I think you would try to help. I don't think you're going to scale a cliff to try to grab her, to put her on your back, to climb back up a cliff. I don't have those skills.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I do have like okay, I know you wanted a selfie close to the cliff, couple more pictures.
Yeah.
Look up here and smile. Great angles. I'm straight down.
Make sure she clicks one of those selfies because when they find when they find her body at the bottom of the cliff, they're not gonna go, I bet he didn't push her. You're gonna need proof of that selfie, homeboy.
Oh yeah.
The old guy with the young, you find one, and I'm not suggesting this is happening, but you find one message in Kelsey's Instagram inbox where some guy who kind of has a twinkly smile sent her a compliment and she innocently likes it. Mm-hmm. They find that and they find her at the bottom of a mountain and your old ass at 50, let's say 52 at that point, as just an example age. There's no way they're like, yeah, he probably was handling the fact that she was moving on well.
We were talking about this. We were talking about a football player that will go unnamed.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, I feel hurt by this football player because
They're gonna figure out.
It doesn't matter.
Is.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to be nice, and we're just going to walk through it. But I feel like
Chad feels hurt by a football player that's a professional that he's never met.
Right.
We're both probably hurt by him. Go ahead.
That railroaded. Well, just wait. My favorite football team by taking a giant contract.
Come on.
Well, I'm just saying. And people go, why are you so offended by this? And it's like, because that's 6 years of my cheering. We're gone. Mm-hmm. And I said, that would be a lot like if Kelsey decided to break up with me in 2 years after she had whittled away the last good years where I could go out and attract a mate. Like she whittled me down to unfuckable and then left. That would be insane. That's what it would feel like. I'd be like, you took the last good.
You have this way of saying stuff that I love you and I root for you, but you say it in a way that makes me root for the thing that you said. You said it so funny that I was like, hey, I would like to see if you could whittle him down to unfuckable. What would that be like? I gotta tell you, I think the palace would be different. Just leave you. I can imagine. So, I don't know. I think like you have a far more stable grasp on success and failure and loss and gain than I do.
Okay.
I obviously do not do well with any of those things. But I wonder if either of us, like right now, if our partner left us, either one of us, right? But now I still get Sunday, right?
Full time?
Let's say for the sake of the argument, let's say full time.
Well, then we get Sunday because Daddy's moving in. All right, we're raising a baby together.
So, and I would love that because I feel like you would both take on all of the heavy duty, like emotional parenting.
Sure.
Well, also, I could get to see whether or not you actually are able to pull off all the parenting you talk about all the time.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly right.
Thank you. So, if right now, let's be in a vacuum. Let's not worry about who's going to raise Sunday.
Okay.
Who's going to cook dinner.
Gotcha.
God, can you bend down to pat his back because he likes to have his back patted when he falls asleep when you have such a rickety shitbag body.
Yeah, and then you're like, I thought you said to pat his back.
Yeah, so which one of us does better if our partner leaves right now? Both short term and long term. So like if both of our partners leave today.
Yeah.
And BT Cody and Honeycomb Justin.
Yeah.
Right? They hop in a car and they're going to go on a little road trip. They're going to stop at your house for a day and then they're going to come stop at my house for a day. Say we're 2 weeks into them, the partner's leaving. Which house are they like? And then they have to pick a house that they want to stay at for a week.
Yeah, okay.
So let's ask them.
Well, this is okay.
Let's ask them. Okay.
But I do have an answer.
I feel like I went a long way around.
I do have an answer, and it's going to change based on every single part of that equation.
Okay.
Do you want me to give you my answer before we ask them?
I think we should ask them.
Okay, let's ask them.
So here's the situation, to recap, because I've done a poor job here. Chad and I have both been left by our loved one. You have to come spend a day at both of our houses 2 weeks after that person has left to see how we're doing and check up on us.
Cy, the one who is okay if his wife makes out at a Christmas party, and me.
I said if he looked like Idris Elba.
I
think everybody's skipping over the part about Idris Elba.
The person who would go on a absolute
shooting
manhunt.
rampage. Yeah.
With just Steve Buscemi putting lipstick on. Boy, am I glad I called that guy.
So you go to each of our houses for 1 day, and then you have to choose to stay at one of our houses for a week. Where are you going and why? Let's go with Honeycomb first.
Certainly not staying with Cy for a week. So Chad easily.
That sucks. I felt like that answer had nothing to do with the question.
I think
and more to do with the pre-show meeting.
I think we both might kill each other if we have to spend a week straight.
I mean, I feel like I'm giving.
To give it an actual answer, I think Chad would handle it worse in the short term. I think Cy would handle it worse in the long term. I think Chad would be a fat slob piece of shit for a good couple months, and then he'd figure it out. But Cy,
That's nice of you.
I think Cy would
I've been through it.
Cy would boot and rally pretty quick and try. He'd put on a brave face. He'd try to.
I'm a big brave face guy.
Big brave face guy, but then he would just fucking crumble after about 2 months, I think.
Now, do you think you'd want to stay at my house for a week because I'd be in jail for stalking Kelsey after she left me?
Yeah, it is.
Just outside
I think
her
this is
new
purely
lover's
a
apartment?
big house pick by Justin.
It is. It is a nice big house. I would love to. I could have some fun in that for a week.
Sure.
Cody?
For clarification, are we your new partner for that week?
Great question. Great fucking question.
No, you're just
the way you set it up really made it sound like we were a substitute to get you through the tough time.
No, you're just a friend. You're a friend in need.
Okay.
And if you push your tits together after a shower, who knows what happens? But let's start with normal. Let's start with
You're just a normal friend.
and then just forget about a couple of guitars, couple bottles of wine, and a V-neck t-shirt.
All right. So I gotta pick one. I mean, Cy lives down the street from my parents, so it's close. If I need to leave, I have a place to go.
You guys are answering this for the wrong reason.
That sucks. Yeah, this is.
Who do you think would be more livable with in that moment?
Yeah, it's a very. There's very much a logistics, vibe in the booth today.
Right.
Like, you got a big house. Well, in size near my parents.
I'm going to tell you the exact answer. I'm going to give you the answer that is the right answer.
Yeah, and
The answer is this. When you come hang out with us for a day to see who you want to spend a week with, you're going to want to stay with me
100%.
because
You're more fun.
When my kids were young and I had to be on the road, I learned how to detach from my emotions and be able to pretend I was okay for 24 to 48 hours.
100%.
Now,
We're on the same page completely.
then you pick my house for a week.
Mistake.
You come back and realize that I only have that for 24, 48 hours. Fucking Wednesday, I start to go crazy. You are miserable and probably duct taped to something in my
Or you're driving him around because Chad saw an image on, like Target of Maple Grove's Instagram, and you're like, is that her? Is she in the, like, you might be doing something like that. Now,
Yeah, that would be true. I don't know if you're familiar with the phrase, who do you think she's with? But you'd hear that quite a bit. Now, I also want to say that this is all for fun and games.
I'd want you to cut that.
Nobody's leaving.
I would like you to cut that. I think the people know it's for fun and games, and if they don't, well, maybe it's not for fun and games. Now, here's what I think.
Yeah.
I think short term. I think Justin is exactly right about long term, with one exception. Right? Who does better in the long term? And that exception is, do I find me one of those unhinged nurses who falls in love with patients? Because I think that's the big trick here, is like, you're gonna find someone else, I think.
Well, by that time, I might also have an in-house nurse.
Yeah, that's true. But I think my survival of that situation, if she left, would completely rely on if somebody was like, I just like taking care of him. It doesn't matter that his hips don't thrust. Like, that's
Sure.
That's what we're looking for in that situation.
Okay, yeah, listen, I don't know what would happen.
Subject change?
Don't even want to think about it,
Subject
really.
change? This is a look in your eyes that I don't love, so I'm
Well,
ready.
no.
I think we got to that point where you were like, are we still talking about this?
Well, I just don't think it's going to happen, and I think when I am
I
single,
don't think it's going to happen either. But
when I am single again, I'm going to have a whole bunch of life insurance money,
Sure,
and I'm
sure.
going to spend that on probably a couple unhinged nurses. One for you, one for me.
I could tell you the thing that might get Jenna to leave
Yeah.
is we have a new rule in my house with the baby, and it's the rule is we dunk everything in this house. So somebody got him a toy basketball hoop, and he was too short for it, so he'd hand you a ball and you dunk it, and he'd get jacked.
Yeah.
Right? And recently he's gotten tall enough to dunk stuff himself. So I come home from wherever I'm at, whichever grocery store in our 7-mile radius,
Right.
and I walk in the house and he sees me and he goes, is he going to do it? And then I go, we dunk everything in this house. And then he starts happy feeding around, and he'll just pick anything he can find up. And he picks it up like it'll be a shoe. And he'll look at me, and I'll be like, dunk it! And then he dunks it. And then he goes and he finds something else and dunks it. So in addition to, Jenna's probably tired of hearing me go, dunk it! All our baby does when I walk home, he's like, oh my God, should I? Should I dunk it? So yeah, it's a real... that's an intense thing that's going on in our house right now.
I think the thing that's gonna get her to leave is right before you slide it in, yelling, "We dunk everything in this house! Dunk it!" She's gonna fucking get up, pull her pants up, not even take any other thing with her, get in the car and fucking leave.
She has the thing that they tried to corner you into, ADHD.
Yeah,
and
unbelievable.
And she actually has it. She took the test, which is a proven test, and they were like, girl.
Mine was a proven test. Why'd you say it like that?
No, I'm saying like it's a proven. The test is proven. So if anybody, we've gotten a few messages where like, I don't care what the test says. That guy's riddled with ADHD.
No, I'm not. I got a bunch of other shit, but we're never gonna find out.
You picked ADHD and you lost.
You used the wrong coupon.
So, she gets a term that gets used in our house a lot is overstimulated.
Okay.
So Sunday and I will turn on music, and he's learning how to snap his fingers, but he can't do it. So there's literally three things that happen in our house. He's either switching the Tony's box to different songs constantly, or he's looking at me and he's going, play, play, music, play, play. He wants music, and then he plays it, and then he walks up to his mom, because I snap my fingers, and he just goes like this, like he's some weird crab. Or, so there's, in one thing it's music, the other thing is music, and the third thing is we dunk everything in this house. Yeah. And you can just see the look in her eyes. She's like, oh, God, oh, my God, I'm going to tie an anchor to my legs and walk out into into our big lake. And
but she won't even drown because it'll be just up to her shoulders.
So, and one of the things I got her for Christmas is this. It's a shirt, but it's got a frog in a sheriff's hat, and it's got a gun belt on it, and he's just standing there with a big belly, and it goes, "Hold on, partner, I'm overstimulated." It's great. So yeah, we have. There's a lot of overstimulation issues in our house. And do I know where I was going with this? I don't. Let's veer off the partners. Take us away. Get us out of here.
Well, I don't know if I have anything other than so she's probably shut the podcast off by now, Kelsey.
Oh, sure.
So now I can tell you this story.
Very different experiences in our household. Your significant other loves our show. Yeah,
she's a mega fan, but she may have just shut it off. So I can tell you this story.
Great.
I was going through customs in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, is this one where your behavior got the best of you?
So anyways, they have one of those bank
I don't know
lines.
what minute. I know people hate when I interrupt you, but I don't know what minute marker we're at. But I just remember, not only am I going to listen to this and enjoy it, Honeycomb back there got himself in a little chattish situation.
Oh, Honeycomb.
So let's go. No. I want you to go. And then we'll kick to Honeycomb. We'll see if Honeycomb can bring the show to a landing spot.
Okay.
A lot of responsibility.
Yeah, this one doesn't really have an ending, so this is perfect. I'm going through customs. Everything is going swimmingly, right? I don't check a bag. I only have a backpack, so I'm going through customs. Everything's fine. Then I come out into this opening, and there are a fucking million people. And I'm just like, where do I go from here? And they go, back at the line. I go, is there TSA pre-check or anything? And they go, there's one line. And I go, okay, I'm already being yelled at. So I go, calm it down. They've been asked this a million times. That's why they're reacting like this.
Sure.
This isn't about you, so bring it focus. Okay, this is probably due to one of the things that isn't ADHD. Mm-hmm. And so I get in line and I'm walking, and it's one of those bank lines where you have to come back and you're basically in the same spot a bunch, right?
It's a weave.
Yeah, it's like switchbacking. And so this woman is standing in one spot, and she's just going, "If you can hear me, you don't need your passport any longer." And she's screaming it like that. So I can hear her at both ends of the lines But then I'm like right next to her a whole bunch of times in a row. And I was just like, do you think you need to yell that? Like, why are you yelling it so much? And then she's like, it's my job, sir. And I go, okay, well, my fucking job. And I can feel it. I can feel it coming. And so I get around all this stuff, and I finally, after 45 minutes, I get up to where I'm supposed to check my bag. I'm checking it, and I am getting, like, run into a bunch. And so I turn around, and it's this lady. And I go, she's younger than me, like, blonde girl on vacation. And I go,
Is Kelsey?
No. I go, hey, we'll get there. And she goes, yeah, I just, like, my flight's going to take off. And I go, yep, all of ours. So just, we'll get there. And so she keeps pushing me. And so finally I turn around, I go, yo, you pushing me is not going to make that guy look at our luggage any faster. Cut the shit, right?
Yes.
And she's with 3 other people and 2 guys. And so now they're like, what's going on? I go, listen, it's been a long day. I just don't want to get pushed, okay? And so I have my backpack is on the little slider thingy, and my hand's on my backpack, and her fucking full suitcase gets thrown onto my hand. And I just leave it there. You wanted multiple choice? Here we go. Did I, A, slide my hand out and let those 2 look like they were humping, my backpack and the suitcase? Mm-hmm. Did I, B, lift up her suitcase a little bit, slide my backpack forward, and then gently slide my hand out?
The answer is C.
Just wait, no, and tell her to, okay. C, did I use all the fast twitch muscle fibers in my left shoulder and create a slam the laptop energy to completely throw her suitcase on the other side of the belt? It's where she can't get it. So I fucking do that, of course. And she goes, hey, what the fuck? And I go, I have asked you. So, and now I'm like full bore. I'm like, I have asked you so many times to get off my ass, and now you throw your fucking suitcase on my hand, and now security's like, what's happening? And I'm like, 45 minutes is what's happening. And by the way, if you fucking have your passport out and you can hear me, you don't need. So I'm freaking out. I am like full freak out mode. Yeah. And then security comes over and goes, sir, we saw what happened. We're going to say you can cut the line and you can go over to this line right here and go right through. And I go, you know what? Actually, my backpack's already here. Her suitcase is over there. It's on the way to that spot. So why don't these 4 go over there? Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, I mean, she's like a little, everyone in the group is a little startled because I did.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't yell the passport thing, but I did yell enough is enough.
Yeah.
And so she goes and gets her thing. And as they're walking over there, they let maybe 10 people in wheelchairs and all their family members get in that line from a separate thing.
Right before they.
And so now they were behind them. And I get my backpack through, and I have my backpack, and they haven't moved at all. And I just wave, and I go, my flight's almost leaving. Now, here's the thing. My flight was not almost leaving. I had a 3-hour layover in Atlanta. So I go up to the Delta Lounge. I watch some football. Almost 3 hours.
Why are you going through security on a layover?
Because you have to go. Because it's
Atlanta.
It's customs.
It's customs from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotcha.
And so I'm waiting for 3 hours. I'm watching football. And finally, they go, hey, if you're going to Minneapolis, you got to go board your plane. I get over there. So 2.5 hours have passed. Yeah. I get over there. And this bitch is on my flight. And so I walk by them and I go, are you on this flight? And they go, yeah. And I go, did you miss your other flight because of the wheelchairs and get redirected on this one? They go, no, this is our original flight. And I look at her and I go, your flight is almost fucking boarding? Lady, we had 3. I watched a football game. I could not believe that shit, man. I could not believe it. That's the one time I've ever been in first class and kind of looked at somebody like, enjoy your seat back there.
Suck it, you poor. Yeah.
No, I mean, not even. I get upgraded. I don't, whatever. But man, that was tough. That is That is probably, I'm normally very good when I travel for the most part.
I mean, that's not an accurate piece of information at all. It's only because of how much you travel.
Right, exactly.
That's like saying I almost never hit my neighbor's house when I shoot my gun because I shoot my gun 5 times a day. So
it's like the Norm Macdonald joke that Tiger Woods is the most honorary man in the world because if you look at the percentage of women he cheated with that he had the opportunity to cheat with, it's minuscule. So I do agree, but normally I do find, but I had to get to the Costa Rica airport very, very, very early.
yeah.
I had a lot of shit go on there. I lost some stuff. I think it got taken off my backpack, and I was just, a little antsy. And then as soon as the suitcase hit my hand, I thought, that's physical assault.
As soon as the suitcase hit your hand, you thought, we dunk everything in
We
this
dumped
house.
everything in this airport.
Here's what I think. I think we should end the episode right now. And I think what we should do is I believe that, because Hay Bales has a great story, but we'll keep going. We'll let him tell it. And then follow us over to Patreon. I promise this wasn't a gimmick, but this episode's been long enough. Okay. So this will be free. Follow us over to Patreon. Justin's going to tell us a story about his, I got to tell you, this makes you look like a guy who's been in therapy for 8 years.
It's true. I have been.
I know, but it actually makes you look that way.
I think it shows. You don't think I could have thrown that suitcase back on her feet? I threw it on the other side to make it difficult to get.
So, yeah, you say that okay. So, come on over to the Patreon, bonus clip, Justin's chat in public moment. It's free.
Ooh.
It's not one of the paid episodes. It's one of the free clips. Come see it.
Do it.
Do it.